Hello everybody, welcome back to my Tribulations of the Mage devlog series. And for this devlog, I'm going to be going over a new spell I made called Earth Spikes. So yeah, let's get right into it. So right now we're in the Earth Spikes Interact, which the way the item works is that the player interacts with it and it gives them the spell, which is this BP Earth Spikes. So let's go to it. And then I'll just go over how it works. So right now I have a particle system, or two of them. Two particle systems. Let me just show them off again. And the way Earth Spikes is supposed to work is that the player would cast it, and then any enemy that was caught in this box collision would be damaged. So it was a smaller form of kind of AOE, or at least smaller than the Rain of Lightning. And it was supposed to just be good for maybe crowd control. And right now I have the damage that's 25. So I'll put some enemies in and kind of give you a demonstration. And then I'll go over kind of the design philosophy of the way Earth Spikes works and why I wanted it like that. So let's just go and let's just put into Fishman real quick. Just put them a little bit close together. And let me pick up the Earth Spike spell. Just like the Magic Bolt, I pick it up. I now have the spell image. And let's activate the spell. As you can see, it did damage to both of them. As you can see right there. As you can see, it did damage to both the enemies. It's a AoE spell. Let me put in more. So anything that's just caught in that box will get damaged. As you can see right there. So now let me go over kind of design process of this. So it's the reason why I decided to make a spell like Earth Spikes. Is that after I did Magic Bolt, I wanted to make a spell that was more AOE, but not as strong of an AOE ability as Rain of Lightning, because Rain of Lightning is supposed to be an ultimate spell, and while Earth Spikes is supposed to be more of a normal spell. So I decided to do I'll just do like an Earth ability, because I had a pack called the 8 elements. So there's just some particles in there, so I decided to do that. So I was like, no, I'll make an Earth ability. And then I guess the second question I had while making this is how I would make this work. Because that's the way that I have Magic working so far, is that I have it so that when the spell is activated, the spell will be spawned in. So how was I gonna be able to make like a spike spell work? And one of the original thoughts I have is maybe making it like a sphere or a line chase. But I thought it would be better just to do a box collision that when when spawned in, it'll check if anything's interacted with it, do damage once, and report it, but not destroy the actor. So because I didn't want it to get destroyed on the first hit, or when it first hits an enemy, I just set the lifespan to 8 seconds, or 0.08 seconds. Alright, 0.8 seconds, my bad. And the reason I did 0.8 seconds was because that's about how long the particle lasts. So I just saw as soon as the particle went away, the box went away as well. And as you can see, when the Earth Spikes are spawned in, so is the collision, or the collision box is like connected to it, so it will do damage, as you can see. And then I also had it so that I actually lowered where the particles were. As you see right here, their location is a little bit down, and I moved them. Because if I didn't move them, it would be like, the spell would be at the arrow. Let me just focus on the player. Oh, there we go. Because as you see, the arrow is by the hand, but the Earth Spikes are supposed to come out from the hand, they're supposed to come out from the ground. So I just moved them down, and I just move them, forward a bit so that I can get the desired effect of them being on the ground. As you can see right here, it comes from the earth, and if I were to elevate myself, God dang it. If I were to elevate myself, let me here. As you can see, it's coming from that surface. So yeah, this is to make it look like it's from the earth, from the ground. So that's how I did that. What else? Let's give it a little show. So yeah, that's how I got the earth spell to work. I have 2 particle systems because I wanted the spell to go pretty far, or I wanted to go decently far, and have it so that it fits in that section right here. So yeah, I decided what distance I wanted to go. I added the 2 particles in, so I wanted to go about this distance, and then I simply just put a box collision in the actor that kind of just fits in the particles, and then when the enemies interact with the box, I made it so that I don't want the spikes just to disappear when it hits one enemy out of maybe you're trying to hit 4, but it disappears when it hits 1. So the way I had to work is that I simply set the lifespan to 0.8, which is about how long the particle lasts. Maybe it's a second longer, but that's essentially how long the particle lasts until it disappears. So I just set the lifespan to 0.8 and then have it do damage so that it's an AoE. And the reason why I wanted to do AoE is that, honestly, with the magic bolt, that's a single target spell. Meant for one enemy, and it's higher damage. So my natural next thought was that, alright, since I have a single target spell, let me do an AoE spell. And at first I thought of maybe a fireball, but I decided, what, I want to do something a little bit different, and maybe do an earth spike, which is why I went with the oxygen spike. I'll probably still do a fireball because that's usually an iconic spell. And then the next spell I was thinking of is maybe a defensive spell, or or a spell that goes around the caster. Let me show you the particle. So I had this water, I think it's called water defense, and place it in. So it looks like this. So I was thinking the next spell I was going to make would be water based, and that it would damage enemies that hit this circle. And I also kind of brought up some more questions about how I wanted to deal with the magic system, because right now I just have it so that you can cast 1 spell, and I was planning on doing a spell selector. But like I said, this is a Zelda-like game that is supposed to be more of, instead of a warrior and mage. So right now this spell is connected to F, but maybe I can connect the other spells to G and H, and maybe I could have magic be more elemental based, earth, water, fire, stuff like that. So I already have kind of generic, and now I have an earth. But that's something I'll probably think of more in the future. But yeah, and this is also good because I also want to test out the spell system as well. Because like I said, I have it so that the way spells work is that they get spawned in. But I was kind of worried about how different spells would work with this system, but I was glad I was able to kind of find a quick way to do it. So let's say, and then I'll experiment more with it, but let's say I wanted to make 3 earth spikes. Let's say I wanted to have a spell that shoots out multiple projectiles. I was wondering how that would work, and actually let me test it out right here. So it works pretty well. Like I said, that's something I'll test more out later. But so far, the spell system works as intended. I was able to easily make my second spell, and I should be able to easily incorporate new spells without having to majorly change the system. So yeah, that's the earth spell. I'll give a demonstration to the end of the video. Let's go over it. So the way it works is just like with Magic Bolt. There's a spell interact. I press E to learn the spell. The image gets set, and the image changes depending on what the spell is. And now the spell actor and the player is set to the earth spikes. so that when it spawns in the Earth Spikes. And it's a AoE spell that damages multiple enemies, but it is not as powerful as the Rain of Lightning spell, which can essentially one-shot anything in range, or not one-shot, but one cast kill anything in range, as you can see right there. So yeah, that's the Earth Spike spell. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.